Hello everyone, welcome back to lecture 2 of this course, Signals and Systems. In the previous video, we have discussed the course content. Now we shall try to define signal, and we shall try to define system, and also we'll try to look at the classification of signals. Okay, so what is a signal? So it is a function of one or more independent variable. So it is a function of one or more independent variable which carries information. This is important, which carries information. We have a term called as independent variable. So what is this independent variable? Let me tell you. If I consider a signal, a sine wave, so what is there in x-axis? X-axis is time, and what is y-axis? Y-axis is amplitude, and it is dependent upon time, right? So the amplitude of this sine wave changes with respect to time, right? So it is x of t. Okay, so it's a sine wave. It's a sine wave, right? And this amplitude is a, and this is minus a. Okay, so this t time is independent variable. It is independent variable, and x of t is dependent variable. Okay, so let me define it as once again. It is a function of one or more independent variable. It is a function of one or more independent variable. So this is t is the independent variable in this particular example, so which carries information. Okay, so this is a function of one independent variable, which is time, and it is carrying an information. What information it is carrying? So it is saying that it is a sine wave, right? So this signal is a sine wave. Okay, so example, sine t, right? Cos t, rectangular pulse, RECT of t. Okay, triangular wave. So these are all the basic examples, but uh, uh, if I go with application part as an example, it's output of a sensor. Output of a sensor is also a signal, right, which carries the information, right? So this is about signals, defining the signal. Next, we'll try to define system. What is a system? A system is formally defined as, it's an entity. Okay, so it's an entity that manipulates. It's an entity that manipulates one or more signals, to accomplish a function. Okay, so to accomplish a function, and the accomplished function is the output y of t. Okay, so thereby yielding a new signal y of t. Fine. So it's an entity. So system is an entity. It's an entity that manipulates one or more signals. I'll call it as one signal, which is x of t. If it is one or more signal, I can call it as x1 of t and x2 of t, right? Which manipulates one or more signals to accomplish a function, thereby yielding a new signal y of t as an output of the system. Okay. For example, if it is a system is an adder, so it is manipulating two signals, right? x1 of t plus x2 of t. If I feed two signals, so it is adding these two signals, and I'm getting as y of t, which is equal to x1 of t plus x2 of t. Similarly, it might be a multiplier, it might be an amplifier, right? So adder, multiplier, amplifier, so integrator, differentiator, okay, a filter. All these are example of a system. Fine. Let me define it again. A system is what? It's an entity. It's an entity that manipulates the input signal, and that input signal may be one or more input signal to accomplish a function y of t, right? So thereby yielding a new signal. Fine. And what kind of manipulation it is doing, it depends upon what type of signals, what type of systems we are using. Okay. So this is about system. Let me define the signal again. What is a signal? Signal is a function of one or more independent variable which carries information. Usually independent variable is the y-axis time and x of t is the dependent variable. Okay. And the example for signal is sine, cos, output of a sensor. It might be a triangular, rectangular pulse, etc. And system is an entity which manipulates one or more signals, giving us a new signal as an output, right? And the example for systems are adder, integrator, multiplier, differentiator, amplifiers, filters, and so on. Okay, so this is about defining signal and defining system. We shall look at classification of signals. So we have continuous time and discrete time signals. We have deterministic and random signals. We have periodic and non-periodic signals. We have even and odd signals. We have energy and power signal. I repeat again, we have continuous time and discrete time signal. We have deterministic and random signal. We have periodic and non-periodic signal. So we have even and odd signals, and we have energy and power signals. In this course, we will be dealing in detail with periodic and non-periodic signal. We will be dealing in detail with even and odd signal. We will be dealing in detail with energy and power signal. Whereas these two, continuous time and discrete time and deterministic and random signal, we are just defining these two. Whereas these three classification, we are going to study in detail. We will take up few example also to actually check whether the given signal is periodic or even, odd, or energy and power. Okay. These two, by looking at the signal itself, either the equation or the signal graphically itself, we can say that whether it is continuous time or discrete time, or whether it is a deterministic or random. Whereas these three, just by looking at the signals, we cannot decide blindly that it's a non-periodic or periodic, it's an even or odd, or it's an energy or power signal. So that's why we have to take a few examples, and we shall try to classify the signals accordingly. Okay. Now we'll try to define continuous time and discrete time signal. So continuous time signals are the signals. Continuous time signals are the signals where its amplitude is defined for all values of time t, if it is a continuous time signal. If it is a discrete time signal, it is n, basically it is small letter n. Since it is a continuous, since I am defining continuous time signal, it is small letter t. So continuous time signals are signals where its amplitude is defined for all values of t. So let me just try to convince you with a graphical representation of the signal. Let's say this is 0, this is the independent variable t, and the amplitude is dependent upon the time t. Say I have a signal something like this. Okay, so this is 1, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second. This is -1 second, -2 second, -3 second, and this goes on till -infinity. This goes till +infinity. Okay. Now, if you look at the amplitude at time t is equal to 0 second, do I have the amplitude? Yes, I have, right? If you look at the amplitude at time t is equal to 1 second, do I have the amplitude? Yes, I have the amplitude, right? If you look at the time at t is equal to 2 second, I have the amplitude, right? If you look at the time at t is equal to 1.5 second, I have the amplitude. T is equal to 0.1 second, I have the amplitude. T is equal to 0.001 second, I have the amplitude. You give me any time any time in second I have the amplitude, right? So that's why we call it as continuous time signal. So its amplitude is defined for all values of t. Okay. So whereas in discrete time signals are signals where its amplitude is defined it's only for integer values of n, integer values of n. Okay, or I can say only for, or even I can say is defined only for discrete values of n. Okay, integer values of n, or I can even say discrete values of n. Okay, so let me try to convince you with a graphical representation. Say I have a discrete time signal which independent variable is n. So for a discrete time signal, independent variable is n, whereas for continuous time signal, independent variable is t. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. So this is -1, -2, -3, -4, and so on. So I have a sample here. So this is 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, and this is 1, this is 3, this is 2, and this is 1. You give me any integer in this signal, so this is x of n, right? Say at n equal to 0, I have the amplitude sample at and its value is 2. N equal to 2, I have a sample and its amplitude is 3. At n equal to -2, I have a sample and its amplitude is 3, right? So this is defined only for integer values of n, or it is defined for discrete values of n. Okay, say at n equal to 0.5, no samples. It's not correct. Okay, say at n equal to 0.1, no sample. At n equal to 0.001, no samples, right? Only for integer values of n, we have the samples, we have the amplitudes. So that's why, so it is defined only for integer values of n. Fine. So this is about continuous time and discrete time signal. What is continuous time signal? Its amplitude is defined for all values of time, whereas discrete time, its amplitude is defined only for discrete values of n, or its amplitude is defined for integer values of n. Okay. So next classification, second one, deterministic and random signal. We shall try to define deterministic and random signal. If the signal can be represented, in terms of mathematical equation, then it is called as deterministic signal. I repeat again, if a signal can be represented in terms of mathematical equation, then it is called as deterministic signal. Name itself I have, right? Deterministic, right? So any signal which can be represented in terms of mathematical equation, so it is called as deterministic signal. For example, what is an example? Example for deterministic signal: sine wave. Okay, so how do I represent in terms of mathematical equation? So x of t is equal to sine t, right? So cos wave, how do I represent this in terms of mathematical equation? X of t is equal to cos t, right? So, or I can say x of t is equal to combination of sine and cos, sine t plus cos t, right? Or I can say cos square t. So all these signals, they are actually representing in terms of mathematical equation, right? Even square pulse I can represent in terms of mathematical equation, square wave or rectangular wave. So all these are deterministic signal. Okay, so these are all the examples. Now what about random signals then? So random signals are signals where it cannot be represented in terms of mathematical equation. Okay, so okay, let me just define it here itself. So random signals are the signals which cannot be represented in terms of mathematical equations. All these signals are called as random signals. And example is, how do I give you the example? Random noise. How does a random noise looks like? If you look at if you have handled the CRO in your lab, if you just connect the probe and if you look at this display there, you get to see something like this, right? What are those? It's basically a random noise. So I cannot predict what's happening. I cannot say what's the amplitude at what time, right? So randomly it is varying, right? So all these type of signals are called as random signals. Okay. We'll go with third classification, which is periodic and non-periodic signal. It's a signal. It's a signal which repeats itself after a fixed time period. Okay, it's a signal which repeats itself after a fixed time period. So as an example, I can give in a simple way, it's a sine wave, right? If I just try to plot a sine wave, so is it a periodic signal? Yes, right? It's a periodic signal and it is repeating, right? So amplitude is A and minus A. So 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi and so on. So it is repeating after how many duration? After 2 pi, right? After 2 pi, the same pattern it repeats. It's same as 2 pi to 4 pi, and 2 pi to 4 pi is same as 4 pi to 6 pi and so on, right? So it's a signal which repeats itself after a fixed time period. Here the fixed time period is 2 pi, 0 to 2 pi. After 0 to 2 pi, signal repeats itself. Okay. And the smallest interval of time where the signal repeats is actually called as fundamental period. It is called as T. Okay, it's called as fundamental period. So basically it repeats every 2 pi, right? But if it also repeats every 4 pi also. If you take this 4 pi and if you keep it here, it is repeating, right? Every 6 pi, if you take this and put it here, it is repeating, right? So every 2 pi it is repeating, every 4 pi it is repeating, every 6 pi it is repeating. But what is the smallest value of time for which the signal repeats? The smallest value of time the signal repeats is what? 2 pi. If you take this 2 pi and just keep it here, so it repeats itself, right? So this smallest value of time for which the signal repeats is called as fundamental period. Okay. Now the condition for periodicity of a signal is x of t is equal to x of t plus t. Okay, if you shift the signal x of t right or left, capital T times, what is capital T? Capital T is fundamental period. So you should get back the signal x of t. Okay, so shifting we are going to deal in detail in the later section. Just note down this condition: x of t is equal to x of t plus t, where capital T is the fundamental period and x of t is the signal given. Okay, this is x of t. Fine. And this condition holds good for discrete time signal also. Let me give you uh, a graphical representation for discrete time signal. Say this is 1 2 3 4, and again this is 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, this is 1 2 3 4. These are all the samples. Again 1 2 3 4, these are all the samples. So this is n independent variable. So this is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and it goes on. This is minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus 4 minus 5 minus 6 minus 7 minus 8. Okay, what's happening here is this signal is repeating every how many cycles, how many samples? It is repeating every 4 samples, right? So 1 2 3 4. So this pattern repeats here, right? And same pattern repeats here also, same pattern repeats here also, right? So for every 4 samples it is repeating, even for every 8 samples also it is repeating. But what is the smallest value of time for which the signal is repeating? So it is 4 samples, right? Here the fundamental period is in discrete time, we call it as n with respect to capital N, whereas in continuous time we call it as capital T. Here the fundamental period is 4, right? 4 samples, 1 2 3 4, because every 4 sample it is repeating. So here the fundamental period is 2 pi. Why? Because every 2 pi the signal is repeating. Okay. So this is the example for discrete time signal. Now this is about the definition of a periodic signal. It repeats itself after a fixed time period. Whereas what about non-periodic signal? And what about non-periodic signal? So non-periodic signals are the signals which does not repeat itself after a fixed time period. Okay, and any guess about the example? So x of t is equal to e power minus t, right? How does e power minus t looks like? If I try to plot this, so this is how it looks like. It's e power minus t, exponentially decreasing signal. This is time and this is x of t, right? Is it repeating itself after a particular time interval? No, right? This pattern is it continues till t is equal to infinity. At t is equal to infinity, this goes to 0, right? So this is one of the example for non-periodic signal. And again one more example is the random noise. So random noise is a non-periodic signal. Okay, so this is about periodic and non-periodic signal.